Voila. Yeah, we back with another episode of R&R. It's Jamerson Ballard. I'm your host. We have re-arrived for yet another one, man. How y'all doing this evening? Happy Monday. Shout out to the Capital Letter Club. Shout out to the Rand Gang. What's up, 29? What's happening, man? Hey, man, it's always a pleasure to have y'all with me, man, when I discuss things that's been going on throughout the weekend. And it's been quite a few things that have transpired. So let's get right into it. All right. So today's episode is entitled Seed Eaters. Yeah, that might cause some controversy. And no, it's not that. If you thinking nasty, we're talking about actual seeds that should be planted, but they're being eaten by those. And I'm gonna go as far as to say this is the struggler's dilemma, because I'm emphasizing that because I'm gonna speak to those of you who may not be aware of that's what might be going on if you receive something like that, like a blessing or something that may be bigger than you used to getting, and because you haven't had maybe let's say with money, a lump sum of money that is amounted to this much, you might be inclined to just hold on to it and consume it, thinking that that's what was the purpose of that, when in fact it was a seed for you to plant in order for you to get a bigger blessing down the line. It's just that some of y'all might not even be understanding that that's what's going on. You too busy, grabbing and trying to get, and ain't really aware of, the bigger picture. And it happens. On today's episode, oh yeah, by the way, happy Black History Month to those of you who observe that. I observe that. I'm black. So if you don't and you hear, what are you even doing here? But if you know, you know. Thank y'all, man. Let me see. We got actually a guest that I'm gonna have on the show, and it looks like they've arrived to the live. And as soon as they request to go live with me, I'll tap them in. But it's Danny J from Have a Seat and Tap In podcast. So she's a fellow podcaster, and I've got to have a female's perspective on some of this, because today's episode is probably gonna sound like I'm beating up on women, and that's not the case at all. Of course, at least one episode a season, I try to have the perspective of the female gender so that people understand it. Although these are my opinions, I'm open to banter with the opposite sex, because I don't want to feel like that that these are just things that the only thing is being portrayed, the thing that I think is appropriate. Let me see. Okay, now that's it right there. So, before I bring her in, though, today's episode is brought to you in part by Kicks, the luxury shoe brand, brought to you by yours truly, and the new sponsor we have, which is the Velvet Tiger. So, if you're into hydroponics and high quality, then go check them out. Am I right? All right, so let's get into it. Let me see. I'm going to try to add her in right now. I've accepted, and let's see how that works. It might take a couple of tries, but I definitely accepted. Let's see. Please bear with me, y'all. It's not often that I have guests, and it's definitely sometimes a little tricky for me. Let me see. I know I've accepted this a couple times, so I don't know what happens now. Again, bear with me. Let me see. It says that she's unable to join. Let me try again. I'm not exactly understanding what the dilemma is. Man, I was set to like 3 times, y'all. I don't know what's supposed to happen next. I'm pushing the buttons. Let me see. Okay. It's not exactly my fault. Let me see what's going on. You said, wait, my bad, fam. Okay. Man. Okay. The mic was off. Okay. But, I mean, I don't know why it's not bringing you in. It's saying that you're unable to join. So I'm just go live with Teddy. It's not really going the way I think it should go. And I continue to try because I'm not a quitter. So this is becoming increasingly difficult.
That was a my mic was off on the thing. I don't really be on this one like that. It's more for like landscape and for clouds and designs and stuff. So I really don't be on this one.
Oh, well, welcome.
Welcome. So that was on me. My bad.
That's all right. So again, this is my fellow podcaster Danny J from Have a Seat and Tap In podcast. How are you doing this wonderful evening?
I'm doing good this wonderful evening. My belly's full. My mind is woke and ready to listen to what you got to say.
Okay. I mean, you know, the Red Gang and the Cabaletta Club are probably all too familiar with the way I think. What I got to say today is going to be a lot more about what you have to say about what I have to say. So let's just some of these topics. I mean, first, how are you doing? You said you're doing all right?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. No complaints. No complaints. I'm doing good.
Okay. And let's just, I mean, do you have a social media handle that you'd like to put out there right now for any of the followers who might want to follow her on social?
Other than the it's Podbean, I have one on Podbean. Y'all can check me out. That's Danny J on that one too.
Okay.
Like you said on Podcasters, Danny J Have a Seat and Tap In. It was former Miss Petty McStuffin, but I've evolved. So that chapter of my life of being petty per se
Okay.
is closed. So I changed the name and have moved it to Danny J Have a Seat and Tap In. I mean, I still post the old stuff so people can still get a feel of what I talk about. It's kind of like your podcast. It's a broad of no matter what it is, it's an open door policy. So join me. I guess I can promote like my book that will be out shortly. That's an open door policy book too. So yeah, that's just what I'm working on right now.
All right. Yeah, y'all follow her. Check that out. Okay. And let's get into some of these topics now. The first part of my show, I do got a few segments, so now I'll have you, if you want to chime in on any and all of these, please feel free. All right. But yeah, so Keith Lee. I don't know if y'all are aware of what happened out in Dallas over the week, which kind of was the reason for the title initially. But again, there's a few females in this particular episode that I don't want to sound like I'm beating up on, but I'm bringing these things to light because some of you may not be aware of the fact that there is also a eye on you when you're out doing things. I mean, you know, when you want people, you're going to be scrutinized. Also, if you're approaching power in the industry or in politics or in business, you know, and we as foundational Americans, when I'm not just speaking for foundational, are you also foundational Black American, or are you from a different region or a different country? Like, where are you from?
I'm originally Jamaican. So y'all know we like the meanest, nicest people you'll ever meet.
Yeah,
We're brutally honest.
okay.
It's a trait that we have. It's not always good according to my children, but I mean, I'd rather you tell me the truth than a lie to my face. So that's that.
Right. I mean,
And then I've lived East Coast, West Coast,
okay.
North, South. So I'm just all over.
So you've seen quite a bit of this country, and you've been, you know, aware of some things that, although I like to think that people have seen a lot, you know, some people argue this strictly in their city, their state, their region, they haven't seen a lot. So I know this about you, but I'll just bring, you know, so that everybody else knows, you know, your perspective maybe.
Yeah.
All right. So Keith Lee. Keith Lee is a self-proclaimed foodie and a food critic of sorts that was a fighter at first, but now he kind of dedicates himself to helping businesses or, you know, critiquing. And he made a trip to Dallas, Texas, I guess at the behest of the owner of Sweetly Seasoned's son. She is a lady, and I neglected to get a lady's name, man. I've been trying to find.
Yeah, you neglect to tell me that it was a from St. Louis. Oh, okay.
Oh, if you, I mean, the actual incident happened, I think, in Dallas. Now,
Yeah, no,
where she's from?
I said Sweetly. She's also in Missouri too. Her
Okay,
name is. If I'm gonna spell it because you know I want to ruin it. It's Evola.
so that sounds like Evelyn. Oh, was it EVLN
No,
and what?
Evola.
Evola?
I'm assuming that's how that looks.
Okay, okay. Well, the lady owns Sweetly Seasoned. I'm not exactly sure if this was a food truck or a brick and mortar. I'm thinking it was maybe a food truck. It looked like a food truck from what her
It's a
post
food
was.
truck. Yeah, it's a food truck.
She has some type of event that, and y'all have to forgive me because I'm not exactly aware of all the, you know, the details. The thing was that the man came at the behest of her son, and nobody was exactly sure what time he was coming or whatever, but they had, from what I could gather, a barber and a stylist there, and I think the barber was the friend of the girl who was there doing hair, but the friend that was like, these were both the son's people, not actual entities, you know, with the lady who was the owner. But at any rate, they were there. Keith Lee shows. Nobody knew when he was coming or whatever. He comes. Now he gives the lady a total of $4,000. And from what he explained, it was to be divvied up $1,000 for the barber so he can give out haircuts, another $1,000 for the stylist, and I think $2,000 for her, maybe to give one to her son or something to that effect. But the lady, I mean, because he was saying it to give it out the way that she could, because, you know, I'm sure that she maybe not have had all that money on her because he gave it out to her via the POS system, which is like on his debit or credit
Mm-hmm.
card, and she wasn't gonna get the cash right away, but when she did get it, that was supposed to be the way it was divvied up. She took that to mean that she can give it out to who she feels deserves the money, and kept the entire amount of money for herself. The later came out that the stylist didn't get her in, nor did the barber, and she got an enormous amount of backlash for this, and people are saying that she is an ain't shit individual. I am inclined to agree.
I'm inclined to agree too. I
I
mean,
don't.
if you're running a business and you know business always works on word of mouth and reviews, and you have the people working for you, they're the worst ones to piss off at your establishment because they're going to run and tell everything. So you will want to keep them afloat like yourself because you need them. You literally need them to survive. So to do the people that's right next to you like that, your customers is gonna wonder how you gonna treat them.
Well, now, and that's not, me defending the lady altogether. But after hearing her side of it, she's saying that those two weren't actually a part of her team. They were there. One of the guys, I think the barber came to cut her son's hair, and the lady was promoting it, but she was like a hairstylist, and she wanted to meet Keith Lee. And so, but Keith Lee, not knowing the semantics of what was actually going on, he assumed that there was a team, and he was doing the right thing by piecing out the money in the way that he thought was, correct. And maybe he didn't communicate that as clearly as she would have wanted him to, but that was his intent.
Right.
Now, she kept the entire amount of the money. I feel like the lady deserved any of the money, or at least not $1,000 worth of it, because she didn't think that she earned it, but the money wasn't earned in the first place. It was given as a tip to do this with it, and she basically misappropriated the funds. The lady who was the hairstylist has a TikTok of her own. Maybe she has a following. She, already had, etc. Blasted the lady for the issue. Then Keith Lee later came on and explained that that was what was supposed to happen. And then this lady started, she's trying to do a video about what she felt was supposed to happen and explaining her end. And she was getting so many calls during her live. I'm guessing there was like blasting her or like backlash from what she had did or didn't do.
They said she apologized. Well, it's stating that she apologized. But what exactly did she apologize for?
Well, I don't even think she knew. She was just doing it because now that she's getting on this backlash, she wanted to kind of make things right after the fact, which is the wrong way to go about it.
Yeah. I agree also because she could have reached out to him as well and explained the circumstances on the money. And then can say, well, they could be gifted this if you still feel that way to make sure that they're not a part of my establishment. But if you want to still bless them in that amount of money, then I'll go ahead and do it that way versus just keeping all the money.
There's a few different ways she probably could have went about it. I think she went about it the worst way possible. But again, the struggler's dilemma is what I'm emphasizing. And I'm not trying to say this lady was a struggler altogether, right? But from what it sounds like, the business wasn't doing as well as they would have wanted it to do. And it might have been a rough week for her or a rough time. And maybe $4,000 was a lot at the time. And she was just like, ooh, baby, I got this money. Ooh, yeah. Like, wait, but, and then maybe, Keith Lee didn't explain it fully, but it sounded like to me she heard what she wanted to hear. She did what she wanted to do, and what she wanted to do was keep the entire amount of the money. And after she received the backlash from customers and other people, what could have been a blessing for her business, and she could have made tens of thousands of dollars in the next few weeks, she held it too tight, pocketed the money, and end up losing more than she intended. Because I've seen signs, or somebody put you know how Google has it when you Google a business and it said permanently closed. Now I'm hearing that it's not closed. Of course, she made it still here. She ain't.
That quick money make a short pass, I swear. And then she literally she thought greedy and it ended up catching her in the long run. Like you said, if you would have just deviate the money regardless of the fact, if you would have just deviate the money the way it could have went 4 ways, you still would have got a blessing in it, regardless. Because it still would have looked good on your end that these people don't even work for you. It's a lady. You have no idea who she is really. She just wanted to meet him. You gave her $1,000. Do you know how much more revenue you would have got for just blessing them in that way? Because the word of mouth again will still have went out. This lady, I just met him and she gave me $1,000. You know what I'm saying? That would have helped her a whole lot.
But you know, these are older individuals and they're
Stuck in that way. I said.
That's how things work ideally, but I've been to a point to where it's like, look, I finders keepers, losers weepers, bro. I don't want to sound like I'm trying to get down on her too much because I've had to evolve myself. You know, if you ain't had much and you found $20, the right thing to do is to give the $20 to the person you know it goes or belongs to or turn it in. But how many of us is doing that, right? So I'm not trying to defend her action. I'm just trying to get those of you who may be listening to understand that not everything is what it seems like. She don't seem like she was aware of the power of social media altogether or the following that this man has and how her doing the right thing by him, because it sounded like she didn't know who Keith Lee was, just another nigga. Like, it's right? Like who what? Okay, the dude came. He gave me $4,000. All right, bet. No. His intention usually, and her son reached out to him to help her to get some exposure that she may not have been getting already. And when she got exposed for being greedy, it turned in a way that she didn't see coming. And then after the backlash, now she's trying to double back and give money back. The lady that was supposed to receive the money was saying she wasn't even in it for the money. She refused to meet up with the lady once she acted like she wanted to come out with the cash. Like, I got the cash, tell her to come meet me. She ain't responding. She was like, look, give the money to my brother, have him, and then apologize because the lady apparently was blasting the hairstylist for her, you know what I mean, for her like not doing what she felt like would have earned her the $1,000 that this man clearly just gave her
but
as a gift.
But I didn't know anything about it, so how am I gonna be getting blasphemy for something I didn't know was supposed to happen? You know what I mean? Like, yeah, this whole I'm gonna just say all around the board, it was too many balls being dropped because the son should have informed her who he was. She should have went ahead and asked more questions, and like you said, she's an older head, but at the same time, word of mouth was one of the top key things back in the gap.
Yeah.
We didn't have social media. We didn't have all this quick, fast thing. It was people, hey, how such and such such. Oh, they food is fire. All right, I'm gonna go down there. If they food is nasty, stay away from them on this day, on that day. It always worked that way. So regardless if it was a part of social media or not, word of mouth travels far. So she should have just stayed on. I was about to say, stand on your business.
I mean,
she should have just stood on a business mind concept, regardless of how the money aspect looked at it. You should always, like I was just telling my daughter, since I've been here, the food around here, I ain't gonna go into it, but I was. I was saying that when I go to a restaurant, I would like them to cook as though it's their grand opening every single time. I know you're going to have sloppy days, bad days, whatever it is, but when I'm a new customer, you never know how many new customers are walking through your door. Yeah, you got your set regulars if you've been there for 10 plus years, but as a new customer walking in there and your food is not, I'm a review. I'm going to complain, and I'm gonna try 2-3 times before I say, okay, I done been here 3 times, and each time I come here, the food is not where it needs to be. So if you're an establishment knowing that you're like, what's his name say? If you don't move your feet, I don't eat. if you don't do properly as a business, you're not going to eat. You're going to go under. So you need to wake up every day with that same mindset. I need to eat. If they don't eat, I don't eat, regardless.
Right. Now,
so she fumbled the ball on that one. And apologies, we don't know how to accept in our community.
I mean, look, I think a few. I mean, now Brett Brett cleared it up real smooth. He didn't do a whole bunch of long drawn out explaining about what was supposed to happen. I wish the lady would have received the message the way it was supposed to be received. Maybe she would have done the right thing. Who knows? But she either misunderstood Brett or intended to do what she intended to do from the jump. It looked bad on so many different fronts. But that's something, and I'm explaining this to my listeners. If you're younger or you're approaching power, you have to do the right thing, even when nobody is looking. That's what we call integrity. But when you got all these eyes on you, now you seem like you want to do the right thing. By that time, it's too late, and we don't forgive like we should to one another, and we'll forgive an Anglo for doing. Oh yeah, master. Don't worry about it. You know what I mean? And I'll go into some of the things that's going on that side of the ball in a few minutes. But right now, let's kind of figure out what the hell's going on with Fannie Willis. Now, Fannie Willis is the district attorney out in Atlanta, and I think she's trying a case against Trump for voter fraud. Now, this lady, again, is a lady who has a notable amount of power in a different league, or a different genre, right?
Mm-hmm.
But she again thought that what she was doing was okay, and when it got brought out into public view, it's just a bad look. Now she out there fornicating, and I think it's what's the word? What is it when you cheating on the husband or wife? Like what's that called?
Adultery.
It's adultery.
It's committing adultery.
Adultery. Oh,
Every time I think about it, I just chuckle to myself because
man.
like it goes both ways in my mind. Like it does. 3 ways actually. I ain't gonna lie. It goes 3 ways in my mind. And
Nathan Wade is an addition to her team in this. He's another lawyer, right? And I think he is married. Now she's not. He, to me, even though it looked like he is like in the process of being divorced, has to move better. But she is the lead attorney on this.
I know that.
The one that's taking this, and she just looks. It's just a bad look. Now, I guess after she told on herself, they said that it's not necessarily a conflict of interest, right? But again,
it still doesn't look good. See, at first, until I read more into the story, I was like, what she do with, I don't know how, like I said, my page is raw. I don't know how far, so I'm going to keep it clean. What she do with herself, I was like, as long as she come to work, professional, do what needs to be done, get the job done, what she do behind them closed doors, that's on her. That's on her. And then I was like, wait a minute now. You sit a little just too high up in the chair to me making these elementary mistakes. You know what I mean? And then now you're saying this dude is married. Oh, you really look, ma'am, you making us look bad. Because at first I was like I said, hey, it's her. Go get your, and then to find out that she's 53.
Oh, wow. I didn't even know how old she was.
I can't even try to be on her page. I was flipping through the book and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna highlight this. Oh, I'm about to. And then it's like the more I'm reading, ma'am, you too old for this.
I mean, look, you got so much going for you, and you up against a lot as a as Black America, whether you foundational or other, we are under a certain level of scrutiny that surpasses that Anglo. They're going to. We have to do 3-4 times as good as they do in order to get the same recognition. But when you do bad, say it takes only one failure to kill 1,000 attaboys. Attaboys is like you could be doing things right for 5 years straight and do.
And as soon as you do that one, that's it.
All of that.
And for me, if I'm a Black woman in Congress, in government, my paranoia, we stay with paranoia anyway. My paranoia will sit so high. As soon as he come walking in, my first thought, especially I'm going against the Trump admin, my first thought is, no. Because I already know what I can lose by trying to game you in there. So you literally set yourself up for failure on this one. You should have made sure that this Trump admin was over, the war was over, all of this was over, and then you decided to say, okay, I can do what I want now.
I mean, even then, for me personally, I'm not sleeping with nobody I work with, man. I don't shit where I eat on a small scale.
Unless as a own the business together.
Employee. Now there are provisions that could be made. Like if you want to run shit your way, you would have to own your own business, right? And I don't know how they think, but you know, because I think you was telling me like, you know, Asians, you know, they but a lot of times they
like you said, they own that. Asian, you see a husband, wife. Indian, you see husband, wife. Hispanics, husband's wife. Now, you see together. But like you said, I had to listen. Like you said, they own their business.
Right.
You're working for someone, and then you have someone working for you. That's a whole nother scale.
It is. But I mean, you know, people don't necessarily look past their genitalia. They let they even like, 3 is too old to be letting your coochie make your decisions for you. Okay? You see somebody that is capable of doing the job. Now, Brett made like upwards of $650,000 over the course of being in this lady's squad. But they against Trump. And I don't know what that looks like to you, but to me, I would be too on my shit, first of all, to think that that guy doesn't have private investigators or whatever.
Watching me at all times.
Figure out how to get out from under whatever scrutiny he under with this. He got bread. He not broke. So along with the fact that you just you about to drop the ball because
he was sitting so high, looking so good. Like it doesn't take long. It really doesn't take long because I don't understand why it never fails. Like we would get right at this good place, and then it just in less than a second it crumbles because we think outside, like you said, everything. Because I was what made me first have that first thought is when I was thinking about like I said earlier, what's the name? James, the one that had something to do with MLK. Jesse Jackson. When he was in politics and babies and everything else popped up and all this allegation popped up and he wanted to be president, they still allowed him to move along and do as he does. But at the same time, it still don't make us look good. In the public,
yeah, man,
it still don't make us look good.
Sometimes, I mean, it's just it's about the optics. People be kind of, you know, they kind of like don't want you where you at in the first place, and then you give them something to talk about, and they might have been waiting. They might have had this for a while. They might have just waited till February to bring it out.
And then this new election coming too. Come on now, man.
So I mean, again, to my listeners, do yourself a favor, man. Look past your genitalia and past your struggle to the bigger picture and see how things might play out. Because this is not checkers, bro. This is definitely chess. And if in the legal world this don't look good, and in businesses don't look good, I mean, it's just think twice, bro. Think it said measure twice and cut once, bro. You don't. I'm not saying don't hire somebody that look good. I mean, a lot of females like, oh, well, dudes do that all the time. They sleep with their people, woo woo. But again, I mean,
We can't do
yeah,
what they do. I mean, regardless of how much we would like to, when it comes to that area, that's just not our ex. That's just not us. That's just not
I'm
us.
upset with the fact that I mean, maybe it's you know, it's a double standard. You know what I'm saying? I've raised young women, and I just teach them to be, you know, on your P's and Q's at all time. You know what I mean? It's
Because
just
people
ain't,
talk.
especially when you that high up. You just it's
People
always
can't
somebody.
wait to talk. That is one thing I don't understand how people don't understand now. That's why for me, I've always been very silent when it comes to me being in a relationship. Because as soon as someone know, it spreads. As soon as someone know that you in a relationship with someone, they go, oh, I seen him there. Oh, I seen her there. I seen it. Now it creates problems in your home. So now you're sitting inside of a public eye at all times. Camera is watching. It's not just us watching you. You have cameras watching you at all time. Why would you not make sure everything is lining up?
And it sounds like she facing up to like 22 charges too. I mean, you spending
It's
the
176
hey,
pages, so yeah, a lot of charges.
you face you spend the space trips or dinners or whatever. I mean, these people can't wait to find something wrong with what you got going on, man. So just think twice, bro, because it's gonna cost you sometimes more than what you think. It's easier to get into than it is to get out of.
Mm-hmm.
So now it's been a lot going on. I work a regular job during the day, right? And it's been rumors of layoffs. I mean, even though you know it's getting a little bit warmer. I work in the industry where it's like, you know, because it's gotten cold or because it's winter time, you know, things kind of slow down, right? But in the it's been a few companies that are like talking about layoffs that's pretty huge and that's kind of scary. Now I don't know if you've heard about this, but there's some layoffs. UPS is laying off like 12,000 people after they just, you know, said that they was going to give people raises, I think, for like, you know, certain individuals making like upwards of like 170,000 a year or something. Now
It's
they got
understandable. It's understandable.
LA Times laying off like 4,000 people. Also, Google, Xerox, Wayfair, and even Amazon are due to lay off some individuals. And it's just, I mean,
Is it that for that winter hire they had, or they just really just laying off? Because you know they have a lot of seasonal workers, and then they lay off.
well,
But
12,000 is still a lot of seasonal workers to lay off, but it's just one of those things where it's like hey, a lot of people put all their faith in their job and they don't really have no aspirations to like start their own businesses. And I'm not saying that everybody's built to start their own. Some people are built to just work for other people, and that's good. That's whatever. But some of your hustle is going to be your
yeah,
muscle, man. Because
I mean, but dig deep into that a little bit. I mean, it's very, very understandable why those, not the last five with Google and the rest of them. I'm still trying to figure out how that part. But when it comes to like UPS, Amazon, FedEx, the delivery services, with things skyrocketing prices the way that they are, we're not buying as much as we used to. Like I was explaining to my children the other day, that what they're doing is not really going to affect, you know what I'm saying, the bigger company. It's the smaller companies that are really going to, the small business owners. Because if we're spending so much money on rent and utilities and food, we don't really have extra money for leisures. So going out to eat and doing all that other stuff and buying things that you normally buy, you have to kind of put your dollars up a whole lot more than you once was. So you normally will, okay, I'm gonna go buy this. I'm gonna just go to Dollar Tree. I'm not going to spend the $5, $6, $7, $8 on Benadryl when I can go to Dollar Tree or somewhere else and get the same medicines for cheaper. So it's understandable why the layoffs will come.
I mean, I'm just like this, man. That list I just gave y'all, if y'all up on game, man, you can get what is called a put. And a put is basically a term that they use in the stock market. And
6 months.
you the fact that these companies is about to take a dive. Now, they obviously have added up or assumed that, they about to take a hit for the next couple quarters.
Mm-hmm.
And they try to, by dropping some dead weight in order to save some money in the long run so they can retain their profit margin. But it is a lot of inflation, and things are more expensive. But there are consequences and repercussions. You're giving people more money because they've raised the amount of the cost of living, and people are getting less hours because of that. Because I was saying, like, look, if you Family Dollar owners, you 7-Eleven owners. I know 7-Eleven is owned by a group of Koreans now, and they paying people. They used to be paying like $18 an hour. It's a dangerous job, but now they're paying like $12.50. I'm just like this.
That's it.
If you to like have some pride in them doing the jobs, because I can't stand going to Family Dollar and there's one lady at the register and it's like
boxes everywhere.
Man, because ain't no
boxes everywhere. I mean, no disrespect to the guys, but I said that the other day with Dollar Tree. I feel like Dollar Tree hire people who's either on disability or they're on government assistance because they don't pay over $9, $10.
They don't pay people.
I mean,
to stay there.
Eating off of that, and they stay packed. Every time I go to Dollar Tree, they line is always down the aisles. Why you not paying your people? They do so much work.
What's even crazier is, I think I may have talked about this before, but they just marked up everything in their store a quarter. That's a 25% markup on everything in the store where everything's $1. They making some money. And on a lot of
thing is, they're owned by like Walmarts and like other big companies. That's what Dollar Tree are actually owned by people who already have money. So why are you not paying your peoples?
Well, that's a corporation tactic that they use when they just like, you own your competition too. You know what I'm saying? And so it's just like kind of a greed thing. I would imagine, like I said, you got a store like that, people don't want to be there. Getting people now, you don't want people to get overtime, okay, whatever. But if you can't get enough people to work there, the 2 people that you got working there is gonna have to get overtime. What you should do, and this is a suggestion, pay these people $13 an hour so they can walk around with their chest out, and then you'll have more people. Now you can afford to make them work, I don't know, maybe 30 hours a week so that you can have a squad, but they don't.
That's what they do. They make the salary workers come in and do the work. That's literally because that just downloaded. I'm like, how are y'all even making this work? It's the salary workers who have to come in and do the job all the time. And that's not fair because they still pushing in 60, 80 hours a week and still getting the same base pay.
That's if you a salary worker, you most likely getting pimped on. And that's, I know that don't sound good because you aspire to become salary because you hoping that you can work 10 hours a week and still get 40 hours worth of money. But more oftentimes than not, you're working 70 hours a week for that 40 hours a week worth of pay, and it won't change, and you getting pimped on, bro. It's like salary is like another word for slavery, in my opinion. But we're going to take it to this next topic, man. Right now, we're going to go into Celebrity Spotlight. Now, on Celebrity Spotlight, it's kind of self-explanatory. We talked a little bit about celebrities, but we're kind of going to keep it within the same vein. And again, I don't want to sound like I'm beating up on women, but first off, we got Drea Michelle. Now, Drea Michelle is pretty up in age to be dealing with a 21-year-old guy. And she's gotten pregnant by this guy. And I didn't write his name down. But he's a basketball player, and he's only 21 years old, and it's been rumored that she's gotten pregnant by this.
Because she ain't got nothing else going for her. She's securing the bag. She been doing this since Basketball Wives and everybody else. She's securing the bag. And that's nasty.
I get that. My whole is
that's nasty.
Well, I can't say whether it's nasty or not. I'm pretty sure it looks like kind of predatory. It looks predatory. Young men, I've said this before. I don't know if I've said it on the show, and I don't want to sound like I'm beating up on females, but if the lady is 35 or better, and she ain't really got too much going for her, bro, and she hollering at you, and you 20 or something, she's probably damaged goods, bro. And you might need to think seriously about walking off on that, because, you know, it's hard for a man to go backwards sexually, and it's hard for women to go backwards in lifestyle. Now, this older lady that got you, freaks you out. She sucking and swallowing and doing all this shit because your little simple-minded ass can't see past your little penis and getting it wet. And now you sprung on this old biddy who finna fall apart in the next 2 years. Yeah, I mean 3 years or whatever she got. You know what I'm saying? As far as like, you can't
comment. I'm like, all I can do is shake my head. I'm gonna let you keep talking.
I don't get it. I mean, I know that they don't. They say, "Oh yeah, she bad." I got me older people. Oh, she gonna get it to you right. So it ain't gonna be no wrestling and no back and forths and no, you know what I'm saying? She probably gonna fix you something to eat and all that, and it's all bait. It's almost all bait, bro. She ain't been happen in her age bracket. And I'm not saying that women should be with a guy her age exactly. Most times for women, in my opinion, that's just my opinion, should be with a man that's 7 to 10 years older than you, because women mature so much faster than men. That's why I'm under the impression that her being with a man that young is predatory, because he's not really aware of what's happening. He just had.
Who okayed this message? Who okayed? Again, this goes back to Fanny. Who okayed this message? Like, ma'am, at the end of the day, you had to get in touch with somebody to get in touch with somebody to get to him. And they okayed this message to pass it along. What is it any different than anybody else that's been doing it on the male side? Because it's not like you just kind of just showed up inside. And you already had an NFL a fiance. You've already been with another basketball player. So they just allowed you to walk in there and tap him on the shoulder and say, "Come here." Who opened that door to get you there? They just as nasty.
She got a son this man age already on here. So that's where it's kind of weird for me. I know that, again, this gonna sound like I'm against women, because men do that same shit, and that shit is sad too. As a man, me personally, I don't want nothing 20 years younger than me. It might change at some point, but at this point in my life, I can't see it. I don't want nothing that much younger than me, man. I don't like to feel like I'm being a predator, or I'm trying to get.
To teach them and mold them and do. I'm not about to do it. And it's amazing, because as soon as everybody start calling her a predator, of course they're gonna throw out, well, Jay-Z's 11 years older than Beyonce, and Harrison Ford is 81 and his woman is 22, and you know, all this other stuff. We not talking about them. Yeah. That's nasty all the way around the board with that 81 and 22. But come on, man.
Them is grandpas, lady. You sucking on balls that's the age of your grandpa right now. You like
that's nasty. I'm at my age, and it be guys like around, 50 be trying to say hello. And I'm like, excuse me? Like, am I not old enough to be your daughter or something? And I'll be forgetting I'm there. 60, I can't. I'm old enough to be your daughter. You know what I'm saying? I tried dating Young on the accident, and I just could not get past his age. So I don't know how she's okay with this. I mean, she's looking at maybe the coins. Allegedly, she could be very well in love, allegedly. But when your son is 21 and how is he supposed to be your stepdad? Like, please explain to me how y'all supposed to be teaching man to man that y'all both in the video. No, no, no. You have to think about all of that.
She probably like, look, baby, my mama, I'm not finna go get no job. I'm sorry. I need to get somebody with some money. Now,
have a baby by me, be a millionaire.
Look, what you need? So I can ask him if you need something too. My son said he needs $10,000 so he can start him a food truck. Can you help? Can you help us? Oh yeah. Ooh, I like, bro.
I got it like that. Yeah. No. You walking in with your man and your son, and like, oh, your two sons are cute. Are they twins? I mean, you see what I'm saying? Like, people talk. I think about all those things, like all those things.
But see,
no,
you actually thinking. But when you letting your hormones do the talk, I mean, and then your circumstances. Sometimes your circumstances be outweighing your. You know what I'm saying? Like,
what do they do after 18? I've always wondered that. Like, I hope y'all put money up, because when your kids get to 18 to 24, 25, or however long they go to school, child support stops. So what are you doing while you all in your fancies and your drapes and your bigs and your, once that money is done, what have you done? Do you have a business set to the side? Do you have a couple companies? Have you have a few homes, restaurants, landscaping, something other than you whoring yourself out there? What have you been doing with your coin?
She just finna put some tight pants on and go out there and throw that thing around. See some of these young niggas who want some and get pregnant real quick before it's over with, so she can have another go around it. You know what I'm saying?
Don't think what I'm about to say has anything to do with just her, but that just sounds like some old prostitutes. That just sounds like some old strippers.
Well, you folks, you heard it from her. I just
I'm just saying, like, come on, man. Come on. You can't. You can't. And it's even in reverse. If you are 22 and this 60-year-old man is trying to say hello to you, you have to question some things. Unless he's sitting in the bar and you thinking, like, draft, let me have a baby so I can sit still for a little bit. But you have to question his mental state. Like,
I mean,
how is this going to pan out? Is he going to try to control me, abuse me? You know what I mean? Like, you have to stay in the same place.
Some women like older dudes. Some of that is genetics. Some they got it from their mama. They freaks. They just want to. I mean, they like long balls. Some niggas is just, and then some niggas. I would imagine with a dude chasing after a woman that young, he got some kind of some discrep, like, you know what I mean, some kind of malfunction. Like, I didn't understand what was probably going on with R. Kelly at first, but when I found out the nigga can't read, it made sense to me. Like, damn,
he chose his mental state. Because you get older don't mean you mature.
Right. But they just need somebody that they can be over. Now, we'll talk about this a little bit more when we get into worldview, because I got a message for you passport bros out there, man. Look, man, it ain't looking good for y'all niggas either. Now, more in celebrity spotlight, we got Joe Budden, right? Which I don't never really watch Joe Budden's podcast, but apparently him and this dude named Ish is arguing over personal issues on the podcast, and it look bad. They arguing over a bride, but it's not necessarily the female that they arguing over as much as it is that this sounds like Joe Budden is a horrible boss. Horrible boss.
It does, because when he spazzed out and wanted to throw the thing and get, I'm like, it's not really that serious, my G. It's really not. It's not that serious. So you want to smash his girls, but you don't want his girls to get smashed, your girls to get smashed by him. Like
Oh,
it just
that's
don't look good, my
that's
G.
where the boss shit come in. It's like, okay, so the nigga saying, man, you knew you met her through me.
And no, I didn't. I didn't know her. Yeah, you did, sir.
And that
Yes, you did.
already a lot of niggas that had her. But I'm like, bro, look, why are you going behind this man at any point?
Either
And that's somebody.
one of y'all. But for me, since you want to say let's do, that's normal in y'all little black man's community. Well, not for you. Majority of the people, the hood men, that's normal in the community. Cousins and cousins got babies by each other. Your homeboy and your homeboy got babies. Y'all, that's normal. When I say I know quite a few that has done that. A guy I was dating, he was telling me that he go visit, his baby. And he said the funny thing is I'm riding with my cousin who also have a baby by the same girl. You see what I mean? And it makes me mad because I'm bringing my child gifts, but he's still sitting in the car. So it's like I can't hang with you if you're not taking care of your kid and we coming over to the baby mama's house together. Granted, I don't know how close in proximity time the babies were. He said to the point where I stopped hanging out with him and just basically adopted his child and started taking care of his kid. It goes quite often that I know with men that back door. Women do a lot of it too. I ain't gonna say we don't because I don't know why we trying to be y'all. But it's normal. It's normalcy for backdooring. It's normal.
I would imagine it is for like lower vibrational individuals. I call them lowercase niggas. I don't.
What was y'all singing about in the 80s and the 90s? Mr. Steal Your Girl. That's all y'all. That's all the music was about. I'ma snatch your girl.
Now I see where that would be something that niggas would tote as a because they value the attention of women. Some will value it more than others. Because I don't look. I'm not worried about no bride, bro. You love her.
That's what used to make me so mad when it come to men. Have standards about yourself, man. Why would you want to go smash some? What you sleeping with her, your enemy's girl for a get back? Dude, you look stupid. Your boy, you sleeping with your boy's girl? You look stupid. That's nasty. Now you got a baby by trying to be some slick stuff, and you the one looking like an idiot. Come on, man. Do better.
I look. I don't get a lot of that. Me personally, I see some of how guys could do it, but I don't agree with it. I don't rock with it. Whenever I had individuals in my circle, your girl is off limits. If she trying to do too much, I'm going to notify you. I'm going to let her know she out of pocket, and I'm going to notify you in some way or another. Now, it's up to you, old sucker for love ass nigga. Man, she would never do that.
Mm-hmm. I mean, when you go to jail, who the first one at your door? Your boy.
And that's something I had to hear from a girl that I was like, wow, that's crazy. These niggas is really trying to backdoor when I ain't around. That's crazy.
So who was the chick though? Was she like somebody they were like in a relationship with, or it was someone they was passing? She was a pass through.
To be honest, this only happened to me earlier in my my hit career, and I ain't even hit. I was just somebody she was fucking with, and when I got suspended from Job Corps, it was a lot of guys approaching her to see if she was weak in that way.
Mm-hmm.
But she wasn't going for it, and she notified me of it, and I had to cut the grass, but it still kind of made me just leery about having a large social circle because a lot of dudes ain't in association with you for the right reasons.
Yeah.
A lot of it be for connection or resources, etc. It's niggas that'll be friends with you for 8, 9, months just so they can borrow something from you or ask you, can they use your grill, or you know what I mean? The hopes of seeing your girl naked or something. That's weird.
Weird.
Like, but it's a lot of dudes who are I don't even know if that's predatory, because that's not a predator, bro. You're a
That's just
fuck
game goofy.
you're a scavenger, nigga. I can't
They say you a scavenger.
I can't
I like that. I'm gonna borrow that one. I like that one.
bro. I hunt down my own kills like a real lion.
But even then, we gonna double back to the Joe Biden thing. Y'all sitting up there. Y'all sitting up there. What are y'all even arguing about a chick for? You can get anything. Well, I don't. Neither one of them for real.
I mean, but it makes some dudes feel powerful when they can have something that you know they think that you want or whatever, because you know it sounded like to me Joe Budden was like, why are you mad at me for kissing this bride and she ain't your bride? It's somebody you wanted to fuck, or it's not yours. She's street meat.
So he never even the dude, the light skinned guy, never even touched the chick.
I don't know if he did smash, but it sounded like he was just upset that Joe Budden was acting like dude didn't introduce them, whether he hit or not, and he lying, saying that you know he knew her before, and because they're in public, because they had already maybe talked about this in private, and he admitted to it. Now that they're in public, he didn't want to look bad, so he kind of played him off, and he basically gaslighted the dude, like, "Oh man, you a sucker for that girl, man. She is street meat. All right, woo, I just kissed her. You tripping? How you tripping on me and it's not your girl? We friends. I, as a friend, told you it wasn't shit, but you believe in her over me." And that's one way of looking at it, but it's like, look, bro, regardless if she knew him or associated with him, or I don't want that he actually feel like it's his or want or could have. And if it was a point where she was giving me some rhythm, I want to know. I'm not necessarily, I mean, Joe said, I don't want to know if you hit or not. I'm not asking niggas if they fuck. But I'm saying, like, what is y'all relationship, bro, to him?
Right.
Are you her? Would you be upset if I hit because she giving me a little extra rhythm and I didn't want to go that route because we are friends or we work together?
So, I mean, come on, man. This whole thing ties into one. Come on, man. Like, do better. Like, real talk. But when I say my stories of just because I don't really mingle with women like that, I really just hang out with the fellas because I was only raised around fellas. So just to sit and listen to their stories, I'd be like, y'all. They would, men that I have been encountered and grew up with, like, say, it's two dudes, or it's like, let's just say Joe Biden and Budden and dude. Joe Budden will sleep with the girl just to let you know you don't want to wife her. She's a hoe. I've already, did all of that. Even if you was feeling her some type of way, I'm saving you from trying to wife this chick. Men do so.
Feeling like that on shit. The thing of the fact of the matter is, even if dude did introduce her to Joe, this bride is basically pod hopping because she want to get to the most powerful of you guys. And why would she settle for you when, in fact,
he owns the business? Come on, man. Like,
I fuck with you, but why would I fuck with the help when I can fuck with the boss?
And even that too, you have ran across these type of chicks not once, not twice, but a few times. You didn't see the spirit. You didn't see the spirit. You didn't see it. You didn't see what she was trying to do. Come on, bro. Like, come on.
Bro, regardless of what they do, what they say, you have to pay attention to their actions. What the fuck would you do, nigga? If you know you got the money for a Toyota Corolla, that's what you is, nigga. That's what you is to her. You're a vehicle, but if she go to the car lot and she knows she only got the money to afford a Corolla, but the car salesman tell her she can have a
Rain.
Challenger, a Hellcat for just $100 more a month.
What you
You
think she
don't
gonna do?
that shit.
Like, come on, my G. What do you think she gonna do? You basically, even if you wanted the chick, you basically opened the door for her to choose otherwise.
A person of higher value. Now you hoping that this dude as a friend is gonna be like, nah, I can't do that. But this is a man, or this is a male, apparently, who is just fucking whoever will allow him to fuck.
And this guy, come on now, we talking about this guy. You really think Joe wasn't gonna do that? Joe characteristics show Joe was going to do it.
He ain't shit. But I mean, use that
Just
to further.
to throw it back in your face, he's that type of guy. Come on, man. You've been on the show long enough. Anything, no disrespect to the guys, anything like he got, he deserved. Cause you fumbled the ball not once but twice.
I mean, I'm not saying that. Look, if you value her, maybe you shouldn't have brought her around, Joe.
That's my point.
But if you did feel like, okay, this is somebody I was trying to fuck with, but she fell for the bait, because I brought her around Joe to see if she was a hoe hopper, and she fell. She dropped the ball, and Joe picked it
Then
up.
what are you mad
and
for?
I know where I stand with this, and you could pivot to use that like to your benefit. Like, yeah, well, I mean, you know, I done brought you hoes, Joe. What's up? Can you bring me a bitch at one time? What's up? You feel me?
But no, they say he does that though. I think that was Joe's argument that he always double back Joe. That was Joe's argument in a nutshell. Like, you mad about this one chick, but you sleep with many of the chicks that I've slept with, or if I've introduced you to. So what are you mad about?
Right. Well, it's just the fact that he said, nigga, you acting light skinned.
That I was out. I said, you know what? Conversation over. I don't want to hear nothing else. Nigga, you acting light skin. I'm like, Joe, you about that bitch shade of brown too, but whatever. Both of y'all at this point is acting light skin, arguing on public over cooch. Come on now, stop it.
Bruh, if that ain't the words was original calling the butterscotch light, I don't know, man.
I said, we too old. We are too old to be still art. Yo, if you want to walk out the door, goodbye. I'm not about to argue you down. Bye.
So you about to fuck off the bride and the job because you in your feelings on T. Nigga, that's what the
sound like look again. This sound like Willis. This sound like the Dallas chick. Like we see a common denominator here. Y'all letting y'all private parts. You making your private part fuck up the bag. I've been trying not to cut the whole time. Y'all fucking up the bag for a one night stand. Cut it out.
You can get other bitches, bro. Let Joe have the bitch. Damn, you lost one, but you lose the whole game, the whole fellas, and women too. So I'm not trying to just get at women. I'm just saying, bro, you gotta look past your penis. Don't be a sucker for pussy ass nigga, and don't be a sucker for dick ass bitch. Get your man and let the boy
get your money up.
All right, man. Check it out. Now, the Grammys. I gotta get to some of this. The show's kind of running a little long, right? The Grammys has some issues. I don't necessarily watch the Grammys. I give out awards on my show for individuals I feel like need it and deserve it and who get looked over. But the Grammys happen. Whoop-de-doo. Jay-Z has some shit to say that was kind of, a shot. He is up there just talking shit with this weird ass dress he got. But I mean, hey, and his daughter looked like him. That was kind of. Anyway, listen. We're going to talk about the Killer Mike aspect.
Thank you. Because I was hoping that's where you was going with it. Because if you was about to talk about that Jay-Z stuff, I was going to sit here quiet. I'm like, it better be Killer Mike.
Nah, I'm saying it because it was something said. He had said something of note, but he was just kind of bigging up Beyonce. Now, I'm not saying that he was wrong. I mean, she didn't win countless Grammys for songs, but they never won album of the year. That was him standing up for his lady. That was a big look. That was what's up. But the crazy part is, Killer Mike won 3 Grammys. Look, and I sound crazy. I ain't listened to the album. I don't know the name of the album. I should know. I sound ignorant. But he did get 3 Emmys for the album. I mean, three Grammys for the album. I think it's called Science and Engineer, something like that, right? I'm hearing great things. But the man left in handcuffs. Excuse me. Left in handcuffs. People are saying he was detained, but he was never arrested. I mean,
but what was he being detained for?
I think it was saying something about an overzealous security guard that's had him escorted out because of maybe a physical altercation. But it didn't say who was hurt, hit, slapped, argued with.
It says was allegedly arrested for batter. He's not even a continue.
So for battery, he or batter. I mean, because he can fry some chicken.
Oh,
he look like
he be on the grill, but no, he's for assaulting. Who did you assault? Come, this is Killer Mike.
If he assaulted someone,
again, he's in politics, so this another one of these little setups.
I mean, look, man, you gotta watch who you argue with. You know, they just had this issue with with Will Smith and old girl, and Chris Rock getting slapped. So you know, whatever transpired wasn't something that was on camera. But again, he was placed under, I don't know if citizen's arrest because it was a security guard, not police. But he didn't get arrested. I mean,
it still don't look good though.
Nah, I mean, from what I heard, he was still able to go home at the end of the night and celebrate. But yeah, it might have been just the fact that he was made to look bad because his back kind of
good.
That's the handcuffs on.
You know what I'm saying? We got to do something. This man always looked too good.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, you know, whatever to ruin a man's night after he didn't had a great one. It's just, you know, you got to watch for the hook, bro. You got to watch for the hook. I know.
I'm glad the way he handled it.
I don't know what even happened, bro. I'm just saying, you know, it's a lot of bait out there. You know, it's a lot of hatred out there for us, man. There was a statue, a Jackie Robinson statue that was cut off at the ankles and taken away and stolen. How the fuck they get this stolen without cameras catching it? Then they found the motherfucker decapitated, burnt up and shit. Like this
metal,
bronze.
Stuff like that, metal.
I mean, shit. Anyway, man. So yeah, it's a lot of hatred out there for us. You know, this our month, and you know, it just watch for the bullshit, man. You gotta watch out for that, man. Because it's this, you know, you might not necessarily see it coming, but it's out there. So you know, watch for that hook, man, because they call it bait for a reason. You know, on this episode, we got this segment called Worldview. Now, Worldview is where we talk about what's going on in the rest of the world, right? Not just what's happening here in America. And on today's, you know, segment of Worldview, we got the message that I want to get out to some of you guys who feel like there's grass greener on the other side. And I'm just here to tell you, man, it's not necessarily. To all you passport bros, there is a travel advisory for men who are going out to places like, now I talked about this last episode, right? And we was talking about, you know, for you individuals who want to go out to Jamaica and, you know, some of these other islands, that it's motherfuckers getting killed out there that's on some bullshit, that's just kind of on some tour shit and walk around and lacking. This time, though, we're going to talk about Colombia, Medellin, to be specific. Last year, 25 men were killed in Medellin alone. for going out and trying to get on these apps and meet with younger women who may not, you know, be as hard to get along with as they feel like, and you know, for American men. And I can't be mad at you for trying to find love altogether, right? Um, it was kind of crazy though. Some of these women that was talking about this story, and they was just like kind of glad to see that these men had gotten killed. Now, 8 men have been killed this year so far in Cuba, right? It's not even 3 months in, and what it sounds like to me, and what's happening is a group of individuals that are, you know, using these apps and these women to lure men in, because it's the struggle real out there. The struggle is real out there, and they see that the tourist situation is getting bigger, and just like with anything, you know, they using the women as bait to get you there. You go out on a date with the woman for a few hours, and then now you're getting beat up or you get robbed, and that's not that doesn't happen here, right? You and lacking, you know what I mean? You got what they call setup chicks. Now they got that going on out there too. So for all you men who think it's sweet out in these different areas of the world, especially Medellin, apparently right now, you know, you didn't see.
Take a minute for you to notice that you're missing. They done ran up your credit card and everything else. So yeah, they doing it. Dang, that's scary.
Yeah, they had some dude. They got a couple dudes that got killed. They had them. They named them, but there was one dude that was an Asian dude. I guess he was like, you know, hitting his brother out in the States for some money. Like, can you send me some money, a couple $1,000s? He's like, yeah, okay, I got you. What you? Well, you still need the money, but he wasn't texting back after that. I guess he didn't get the money fast enough, and they stabbed him up and beat him to death. And you know, it's just sad, man. I mean, you know, some of these dudes don't have the charisma that, you know, a lot of men have, and they might have to go through great lengths to try to find something that's within they, you know, within a market. Um, but I just want you guys to know, you know, without sounding like I'm being condescending, like, you know, it's just you gotta watch what you know, how you play with this, man, because some of these apps they're predatory. You know what I'm saying? And I don't think that these dudes understand the scope. Now, I don't know if any of you guys that are listening to me and the sound of my voice are aspiring to be passport bros. But if and when you are, you know, just watch it, man. You never can be too careful. Like I said, I don't know what app it was, but I mean, apparently these jackers is on it, man, and they sending ladies out to get you together. So you know, if it's too good to be true, it's too easy to connect with, you might want to watch it.
Well, for a minute, was that was that talk of last year? Remember? I don't know if you remember, but it was, you know, like, oh, you gotta go overseas. Who was that guy that had passed away? He was really, you gotta go overseas, and this is better, and they're more submissive, and all this. I can't deal with Black American women, and so angry. And then there you go. Look, ta-da! You might as well stay where you at.
Well, I mean, you know, look, man, it's just if you gonna, I don't know.
I mean,
It just ain't no.
we all the same across the board. That's what bothers me. No matter what country, what state, what continent you on, the same thing that's in America is the same thing that's gonna be in Cuba. The same thing gonna be in South America. Yeah, they different in body aspect, but mental, you gonna run across one, either a good girl, a whore, vice versa. When I say good girl, good guy, whore, before y'all.
Look, you about to buy you about to buy pussy for a lifetime. I mean, you know, and that's not necessarily a good investment, bro. You know, you gonna go. You trying to find the best deal for your money, and you done flew all the way out there to buy some pussy. And
I'm stupid self gonna say, when you get married, it's the same thing.
I mean, hello, is you it. You buying you a long-term trick. So what?
Oh,
better,
I
you
couldn't
better,
let that one pass the thought. Like, I mean, that's what you get.
man, bro. I don't. I'm not trying to make light of that shit. I mean, I know some of you dudes
I,
is like, oh,
sorry, I had to lighten it a little bit because
that,
that's scary. That's scary. That is beyond. You think you about to get in this hotel, about to have a fantastic time, and you want some serial killer type stuff. Like you don't walked into your death.
you didn't let the coochie get you killed.
And then you have nobody there to help protect you, or okay, this is what this person looked like. This is the whole like they not about to provide all that information.
Oh man.
Police not about to investigate all of that. Like you just literally put your oh man. That's
All right.
scary.
More in world view. 3 Americans were killed and more than 30 were wounded in a deadly drone strike in Jordan last week. Right. This weekend, U.S. airstrikes back over the weekend, and like 84 buildings was damaged or destroyed, but no reports of Iranians who were actually killed. What the fuck is they doing over there? They didn't just killed 84 buildings. They ain't killed nobody. They just dropping bombs and shit. And they ain't really hitting shit, man. That shit is crazy. I mean, I'm not, RIP to the 3 individuals that were lost. They was all found, like they was all black, by the way, and that's just sad. I mean, I'm glad that they trying to do something in retaliation of that, but it's like you ain't hear shit. I'm gonna go to the next thing. The FBI,
A waste of money. Just...
right? Just wasting bullets and bombs and shit. You killed 84 buildings, but not
So y'all
even
didn't train nowhere. This is amateurs that went out there. There was no training. None.
They just dropping bombs. They ain't like
No target really. Just but you have 80 buildings. Where were the people? Did you evacuate the city and then you dropped the bomb? So y'all was practicing. What exactly were y'all doing?
They probably needed to rebuild that shit anyway. Y'all just did them a favor. And they're all empty anyway. What y'all finna? Y'all dropped it on the abandoned neighborhood or something? But who was doing what the fuck they dropped these bombs? That nigga need to be.
The 20th bomb that fell and y'all didn't hit no one. You didn't say never mind.
But you ain't hit shit anyway.
Like this don't make
You making us look bad, sir.
Makes sense.
The FBI director Christopher Wray says that Chinese hackers are focusing on our critical infrastructure.
They don't have
the motherfuckers focus on the water treatment plants, the electrical grid, our oil and natural gas pipelines, and our transportation systems. They trying to fuck us up.
See, that I would want to leave the country for. It wouldn't be because of no penis. It's because I'm just going to go ahead and get off the grid and let y'all deal with y'all going to deal with over here in America because that's it. But to go for some cooch, nah, penis, no. Come on, man.
I'm just saying, like, this is like to do with more like the border crisis a lot.
Yeah.
Because they're not even trying to stop these motherfuckers. I mean, they're saying low blows against the civilians are a part of their plan. Like, they don't really just be trying to hit the military. They down to fuck up grandmas and kids and shit in the transportation system. You know what I'm saying? Like, if they, bomb a train system, they ain't really opposed to that. That's
So we have all these people invading us on top of what you just said is coming to America like now.
Basically, they're saying the Chinese are the fastest growing group of illegal immigrants crossing into America from Mexico. There is a 4-foot gap at the end of the border, at the end of a border fence that's 60 miles east of San Diego. So it's like They got caravans of motherfuckers dropping them off right so they can just slide in this gap in the fence, and the border patrol agents is watching them, and they just kind of letting them do it because of Biden. You know what I'm saying? It's sad, bro. It's kind of scary. I mean, we talked a lot about Eagle Pass, Texas, and but it ain't just Hispanics coming into this motherfucker. It's Africans, Asians, and
Much going on.
it's. I mean, we damn near facing World War III, and they letting us like.
Cause you don't even know it could be very well their infiltrate that's coming in
Yeah,
regular clothes. You
we.
know what I mean? Like none of y'all think again. Nobody using the thought process that their military could be walking across the border too.
I mean, yeah. I mean, they got what is called sleeper cells who might not be activated right off, but once they learn how we get down and what shit is and how to destroy us because they've been here for 2-3 years, when they finally do give them the green light, when they look like we trying to fight them, they be then hit us in our power grids, in our oil and gas situation, in our train systems and shit, and fuck us up in a different way. Like I said, they ain't necessarily trying to attack the motherfucking Pentagon and no shit like that. They going at us at a whole different route. You know what I'm saying? So we just got to kind of be aware of that shit in the future coming up, man, because ain't no telling it's gonna rock. But Brett is definitely not helping at all. Him trying to get voted in to be president again, and it looked like his old ass. Lord forbid, but he damn near like he about to. If this motherfucker just sleep an hour too long, it's over. Like I don't know what the fuck.
I was trying to tell you to hush.
He right there. He right there. He about to be in the upper room in a minute, and he fucking up everything.
Got the see. Look, no. Now you about to have me add on to the boat. No, I'm not saying that.
Anyway, now I usually do a wake the fuck up segment, but I'm trying to look. I might have to come away from that because I really want to get more mature. And that sounds kind of bad. I mean, I love music. I mean, I might find another word for it, but today we're not gonna do that. We're gonna do this thing I'm gonna call scam alert because I damn near got scammed and I don't like it. I'm mad. But
How?
not a long game, so y'all can see how not to get scammed too. Now, I've been hearing a lot about Cash App on some bullshit. So I don't know. I haven't really found a lot about that. My boy sent me a story, and shit, I was running out of time before the show. But I'm gonna talk to you about this one because this is something I experienced personally, and that's this USPS bullshit, and that's the United States Postal Service. Now I don't know how many of y'all got packages on the way or something like that, but these motherfuckers are sending out text messages.
I got one. I didn't answer it. I was just gonna go to the post office and check it out. I'm not clicking nothing.
Well, I mean, the text message got a link in it, and it'll sound like and look like it's a real USPS Postal Service message, right? It's like almost exactly like it's supposed to be. Only thing was it's asking you for like, tell you that, you your package is on the way, but they need an address for you, or they can't confirm it, or they need to redeliver it or some shit, and they ask you for your address and then the card number. Motherfucker trying to charge the nigga 30 cents, and before you put your shit in, call the post office or something because what it is they basically trying to get card numbers. You know what I'm saying? Like, and you don't want to be spending money on dumb shit and getting scammed out your little bread, man. But it's some bullshit, man. The postal service ain't gonna ask you no more money. So
I mean, exactly. You just said it. They trying to infiltrate all type of technology system. Because I got it and it kept coming and I blocked it and I'm like, but wait, how did you even get my number in the first place? Because I used to sell clothes online, so I'm like, well, maybe it's the old package that needs to be returned because it was somebody supposed to send something back. So I was like, maybe it's that, and I'm like, but why wouldn't it come from the app itself instead of USPS? So I was like, I just go down there and talk to them first before I click anything.
Man, and just watch your shit. Watch it, man, because it's like, I mean, you know, they kind of take advantage of you being eager to get your packages. I mean, I got something sent out here from China, and I didn't know it was coming from China, but it's taking hella long. I don't know what it is about shit coming from international shit, but they obviously knew I had some on the way, and they tried to exploit that. So, you know, I had to go get me another card because I ended up giving them the card number, but, you know, they don't have access to my account unless it's through the card. So, easy fix was for me. It was just, you know, shut that card down and go get another one. And that's, but it can happen. So, you know, just be aware of that shit. And we got another segment that I think y'all might like. I don't know if y'all like it. I like, you know, to put these cats on blast. So, you know, it's one of these segments that people probably love to hate, but it's called Don't Be a Weirdo. You know, today's Don't Be a Weirdo. We got an 11-year-old in Arizona. It was a female. She escaped from the grips of this week's weirdo. The fifth grader's description helped authorities identify the suspect as a 37-year-old Joseph Leroy Ruiz. And this motherfucker apparently stayed right around the corner from this little girl. Just watching her go to school, see her walking up the street. Now the cameras got him trying to grab her. She, you know, pulled away from him and dipped out. But he in his car and shit. I mean, he stayed right. I mean, I guess he been leering at her. So she kind of like, you know, was on alert when he, you know, tried to get her to come around or whatever. And I don't know, man. That Ruiz name. I mean, if for all we know, it could be one of these illegal immigrants that came up here with that weird ass shit. Because we don't know, you know, in America, it's illegal to be fucking with a girl that's under 18, bro. But in some of these other countries, and I'm, you know, this
okay. That line. If you bleed, you get touched. It's okay in other countries. They could be 9, they could be 8, they could be 7. It's okay because they become a woman.
Oh no.
Sick. You could be 30 and marry a 7, 8, 9, 10-year-old. Yeah.
Yeah, no. This ain't that. So yeah, that's weird.
That's weird.
Very weird. Don't do that. Don't do that. We only dealing with grown women around here, and they for me they need to be at least 25 or better. I mean, I'm not in the market. I'm just saying, you know, at a certain age, bro, it's like you kind of off if you're trying to deal with some 15, 20 years younger than you. Like, why? What's so wrong with your game? Unless you know you know you need something that's fresh out the box because you know
for entertainment purposes only.
I mean, or you know you got you know you're not really holding you you got you Vaini, man, and you need
I'm not about to join you.
anyway. Hey man, I ain't judging. I'm just saying, man. Y'all, hey, chill out, man.
Please.
Chill out.
Please. That's nasty. All around the board, it's nasty. It's a little girl. She's a child. Molest. That's rape. Let it go.
But it's you know, they be playing different out there, but this is America, Jack. Don't do that. Don't do that. And on today's Who Got Active? Now this is always fun. We got a 22-year-old man named James Lewis Spencer. Apparently, Brett trying to be a lightweight vigilante because he got charged with murdering a 37-year-old convicted sex offender. Now, the dude's name is Sean Connery Showers. That's the sex offender dude that got shot. And I mean, James Spencer posed as a minor to meet up with him. And when he seen Brett walking around like he trying to find out where he at, he just did basically a drive-by and shot him.
There got to be a backstory to that.
I mean, well, you know, the convicted sex offender dudes, you know, were high school and got, you know, caught up trying to meet up with young kids and shit. he didn't never really register as a sex offender apparently, but this dude I guess knew about it, found him, and looked him up and tried to coach him into meeting up with him. I don't know if it was on a phone call, maybe it was an app. Or watch out for them apps. But he tried to get up with him. Like, hey, I'm a young man. I want them long balls. And he was like, oh, I'm on my way. Where you at? You know what I'm saying? He tried to meet him at the park and got sparked. Got sparked at the park. Yeah, but it's over with for his ass. And Brett got caught up. He about to do some time, but
now you about to never.
He feel like because he didn't got a sex offender off the streets. And congratulations
but now
to you, sir.
In a pool of sex offenders, sir. So your best bet should have just called and said this man is reporting blah 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 blah.
I mean, but that's the thing, bro. He arrested, but they let him back out and they ain't really doing shit about it for real. So James Lewis Spencer, you are activated individual of the week. I'm not.
Why, my G? I know, no wrongs, but now you in there a whole lot more of them. So yeah.
Y'all at the police don't really be trying to lock people up right. They be letting them back out, and then they get other niggas 100 years for killing motherfuckers that stole their lunch. Some dude got his lunch stole. Some dude, he was foreign. He got a big forehead too. I can't really talk, but I think he got one of Ethiopians. He got Ethiopic situation. Ethiopic. But he told him though to give him the harshest sentence they could give him though, because he was gonna kill him. But he was hungry, I guess. He from Ethiopia. Maybe lunch really means something.
My food. I feel you, Pun. Don't play with my food. Don't.
Really? So
my food. I will act a fool behind my. Don't play with my food. Man, it's I done went to work and been thinking about my food all day, and then I come to y'all. Hey, don't play about my food.
And what about like you left it yesterday? You didn't eat your lunch yesterday. You left it. You forgot by accident lunch. Then you like, but my shit's still there.
At work or at home?
I'm eat tomorrow. You get there tomorrow. You think your shit there, your Subway.
That's my food at work. I'm not eating that. Nah, y'all can have.
I don't know. I mean, this with people that you've been working with for years. Ain't nobody never started.
I don't do potlucks. I'm not. No. If it come in a pack or a bag that's sealed, I don't want it.
The new nigga that started last week, he working that week in a hole. He hungry. He go in there, he see your sandwich.
Ask me, I buy you something to eat. I'm that kind. And I tell people all the time, my demeanor might look like don't bother me, but if you need something, ask me. I'd rather you ask me, I'll buy it for you.
That nigga ashamed all that shit. But bro laid in wait after the job site, after the work was over. He said,
some tortillas? Nah. Over some bread? Nah. I'm not about some.
His mama probably made him that lunch or something.
And I'm gonna bring it tomorrow and I'm gonna put some hot sauce in there. Now I know who in here stealing my food.
That's a disrespect to Ethiopia, baby. You nigga eat your lunch. That's why it's like he fucked your woman or something. He gotta die. Possibly.
I don't know what they eat, so I wouldn't even. Nah, I'm not about to touch your food. First of all, I'm not touching anybody's food at work anyway, because I don't know if y'all like washing your hands.
No.
So
that don't matter. Ethiopia, they eat food, everything with their hand. They like this here with it. A spoon. What's a spoon?
See, nope. All the more reason why I wouldn't touch your food.
They're gonna get the bread dip.
Eat it. He probably pissed them off and they just took it and threw it in the trash. Something like that.
Bread went fed 100 years. Anyway, now for this.
Oh, some food?
Got called Now Flowers. Now, first, R.I.P. Carl Weathers, man. Carl Weathers is the dude that played Action Jackson. You remember Action Jackson? You old enough to remember Action Jackson? I might be telling on myself a little
I know.
bit.
I mean, I heard of it, but I don't think I've ever watched it.
You know him because he played Apollo Creed, right? That's what most people probably know.
Okay, okay. So
He played in Predator 2. He played in a lot of movies. Bro played in Happy Gilmore. He was the dude with one hand that the alligator ate on Happy Gilmore.
that
Anyway, he gone now. And we
you
hate
know, I just post something about him. Is he the same one that's in I just watched it last night. Was it Amos Jones or something? It was like Bill Murray.
I
You
don't know that,
that?
but possibility. He,
Hold on. Because I watched it last night and they had snuck some pedophile mess in there. And he was the guy. And
did he have
guy
a mustache?
that was in the wheelchair, then yeah.
Did
Yeah.
he have a mustache?
That's crazy.
He didn't have a big mustache. That
Okay.
wasn't him.
Okay.
If he had a big ass mustache, it was probably him.
Bro, I remember you stupid. I remember this.
But yeah, R.I.P. to bro, man. I'm sorry that he gone.
Oh,
But
nah.
I mean, I was kind of in a hurry, but look, I did find this now. You know, the Gap Band lead singer Charlie Wilson finally got his star on the Walk of Fame. Now we didn't already shouted out Charlie Wilson. Shout out to him last season for his now flowers, but he finally got his flowers now and got his walk on the Walk. So shout out to him. And you know, that's pretty much the end of the episode for me. My name is Jamerson Ballard. It's Jamerson Ballard on all platforms. Like, share, subscribe. If you feeling generous, my cash app is $SuperStee, SuperStee. You got a cash app you want to shout out right now?
Even me.
Mm.
$, even M with a 3 instead of the E. It's a 3. So even me. And it's Danny J all across the board too.
We appreciate you coming in and giving us your perspective on this one, man. I really had a good time on this show, and I appreciate you.
Thank you.
I got to go in here and get some rest or something, man. But y'all have a great week, and I will see y'all next time. Hasta luego.
Cool beans.
All right.